Have you ever opened your phone just to check one message and suddenly 30 minutes disappeared? You didn't plan to scroll. You didn't plan to watch 20 short videos, but somehow your brain said, just one more. And the scary part is this: it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're weak. It's because your attention span is being trained every single day by short videos. Right now, your brain is living in a world of instant rewards. Swipe, laugh, swipe, surprise, swipe, dopamine. No effort, no waiting, no boredom. And slowly, without you noticing, focusing on one thing for a long time starts to feel painful. You sit down to study, work, or read. After 5 minutes, your mind says, "This is boring. Where's the excitement?" So you reach for your phone again. This video isn't about deleting all apps or becoming a monk. It's about understanding what's happening inside your brain and learning how to take control again. Because focus is not something you're born with. Focus is something you train. And right now, most of us are training it in the wrong direction. Short videos are designed to win your attention. They use fast cuts, loud sounds, emotional hooks, and constant novelty. Your brain loves novelty. It feels safe, exciting, and rewarding. But here's the problem. Real life doesn't work like that. Studying doesn't change every 3 seconds. Work doesn't come with background music and subtitles. Building a skill feels slow at first, so your brain starts to associate slow with bad. This is why many people say, "I can't focus anymore. I get distracted so easily. I feel mentally tired all the time." It's not that your brain is broken, it's just overstimulated. Think of attention like a muscle. If you only lift very light weights, your muscle gets used to easy work. Then one day when you try to lift something heavy, it feels impossible. Short videos are light weights. Deep focus is heavy weight. And you can't suddenly lift heavy weight without training. The good news is, you don't need super discipline. You need smart systems. The first step is awareness. Most people think distraction comes from outside, notifications, apps, noise. But distraction often starts inside. The moment you feel a tiny bit of bored or uncomfortable, your brain looks for an escape. Scrolling becomes emotional relief. So, instead of fighting distraction, you learn to sit with discomfort. At first, this feels weird. You open a book, your mind wanders, your hand almost reaches for your phone. That moment, right there, is where attention is built. Not when you're motivated, not when it's fun, but when you don't want to continue and you do anyway. But let's be realistic. Telling yourself just focus harder doesn't work. So here's a better approach. Start by lowering the difficulty. If you try to focus for 1 hour when your current limit is 5 minutes, you will fail and then blame yourself. Instead, aim for 10 minutes. Just 10. Set a timer, put your phone face down, and do one task. No multitasking. When the timer ends, stop. This might sound too easy, but consistency beats intensity. Your brain needs proof that focus is safe, not exhausting, not endless. After a few days, 10 minutes becomes 15, then 20. This is how you rebuild trust with your attention. Another powerful shift is changing how you use short videos, not quitting them completely. Short videos are not evil. Uncontrolled use is the problem. Instead of watching whenever you feel bored, choose when you watch. For example, only after dinner, or only for 20 minutes in the evening. This turns scrolling from an impulse into a decision, and your brain learns, "I don't need this right now. I can wait." Waiting is important, because waiting is the opposite of instant dopamine. And this brings us to boredom. Most people are afraid of boredom, but boredom is not empty. Boredom is space. When you're bored, your brain starts to think. It connects ideas. It reflects. But if you fill every quiet moment with scrolling, your brain never gets that space. Try this. The next time you're waiting, for food, for a bus, for a friend, don't touch your phone. Just observe. Your thoughts will feel noisy at first. That's normal. This is your attention waking up. Another small habit that makes a huge difference is single tasking. Most people think they're good at multitasking. They're not. Switching tasks drains attention fast. So when you study, don't study with a video playing. When you work, close extra tabs, one thing at a time. It feels slower, but it's actually faster, because attention loves clarity. Your brain relaxes when it knows exactly what to focus on. Also, your environment matters more than motivation. If your phone is on your desk, your attention is already divided, even if you don't touch it. So put it in another room, or in a bag, or at least out of sight. Out of sight really does mean out of mind. And one more thing most people ignore: sleep. If you're sleep deprived, no productivity trick will save you. Short videos late at night destroy sleep quality. Then the next day, your attention suffers, and the cycle repeats. Protecting your sleep is protecting your focus. This is not about becoming perfect. You will still scroll. You will still get distracted. The goal is not zero distraction. The goal is longer moments of presence. Moments where you're fully there with your work, with your studies, with your life. And once you start experiencing deep focus again, for even short periods, shallow content becomes less satisfying. Your brain starts craving meaning instead of stimulation. That's when everything begins to change. When your attention starts to come back, you'll notice something strange. Silence feels louder, slow tasks feel heavier, and your mind sometimes feels restless for no clear reason. This doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means your brain is adjusting. For a long time, it was used to constant stimulation. Now, you're teaching it to slow down. Think of it like detoxing from sugar. At first, everything tastes bland, but over time, your sense of taste resets. The same thing happens with attention. One important idea to understand is this: your brain doesn't want focus. It wants efficiency. If scrolling gives quick rewards with no effort, your brain chooses that. But if you repeatedly show your brain that focus leads to progress, clarity, and confidence, it will slowly change its preference. This is why finishing small tasks matters so much. Not big goals, not huge plans, just finishing something. Reading 5 pages, writing 1 paragraph, solving 3 problems. Completion releases dopamine too, just a different kind, a calmer, more stable kind. This teaches your brain that deep work is rewarding. Another powerful shift is redefining what productive means. Many people feel productive when they are busy. Messages, notifications, constant movement. But real productivity often feels quiet. No drama, no rush, just steady progress. If you measure your day by how many things you finished, not how many things you touched, your attention naturally improves. And this leads to something deeper: identity. If you see yourself as someone with a short attention span, your behavior follows that story. Instead, try a new identity. I'm someone who is rebuilding my focus. Not perfect, just improving. Identity shapes habits more than motivation ever will. Now, let's talk about learning and work specifically, because this is where short attention hurts the most. When you can't focus, everything feels harder than it should. Studying takes longer. Work drains you faster. You feel behind even when you're trying. The key is creating clear start and end points. For example, instead of saying, "I'll study tonight," say, "I'll study this topic for 25 minutes." Clear boundaries reduce mental resistance. Your brain relaxes when it knows there is an end. This is why techniques like the Pomodoro method work, not because of the timer, but because of the limit. Limits make focus possible. Also, always start with the easiest step. Don't open your laptop and stare at a huge task. Open the document. Write 1 sentence. Action creates momentum, not the other way around. And when you lose focus, because you will, don't punish yourself. Self-criticism kills attention. Instead, gently bring your mind back. Focus is not about control, it's about returning. Returning again and again, just like meditation. Over time, those returns become faster, and distraction loses its power. Another overlooked factor is physical movement. Your brain is not designed to sit still all day. Even short walks help reset attention. Stretching, standing up. Movement increases blood flow, which improves mental clarity. Sometimes the best way to improve focus is to step away, briefly. Also, be careful with information overload. Watching educational videos all day doesn't mean you're learning deeply. Consumption feels productive, but creation builds attention. Instead of watching one more video, try explaining what you learned in your own words. Write it. Say it out loud. This forces your brain to slow down and organize thoughts. That's deep focus. Now, let's talk about balance. You don't need to reject modern technology to have a strong attention span. You just need boundaries. Technology should serve your life, not replace it. Use tools, not endless feeds. Create focus zones in your day where short videos are not allowed, and relax zones where you enjoy them without guilt. Guilt creates stress. Stress worsens attention. Intentional use creates peace. And here's something most people don't realize. Attention is closely linked to meaning. When something matters to you, focus becomes easier. If you constantly feel distracted, it might not just be your phone. It might be a lack of direction. Ask yourself, what am I working towards? Why does this matter? You don't need a perfect life plan, just a reason strong enough to sit through discomfort. Purpose anchors attention. And finally, be patient with yourself. You didn't lose your attention span overnight. You won't rebuild it overnight either. This is a gradual process, with setbacks, with progress. But every time you choose focus over scrolling, even for a few minutes, you are changing your brain. You are becoming harder to manipulate, harder to distract, more present. And in a world fighting for your attention, that is a superpower. Attention gives you depth. Depth gives you skill. Skill gives you confidence. And confidence changes how you live. You don't need to consume less content to become better. You need to focus more deeply on what truly matters. And once you experience that level of focus again, you'll realize something important. Short videos didn't steal your attention forever. They just distracted it, and you can always take it back.